Tom Six, a director known for shaking the boat and saying fuck it to PC culture, is most known for his Human Centipede trilogy. While these movies are mainly written off as shock horror or some kind of gore fetish, they aren't appreciated much beyond that, as they should be. His broader filmography is heavily overlooked. His first film exposed the Amsterdam gay scene, and his latest seems like one of the most important films of the year.
I formed the Onania Club. We'd like you to join.
What do you do at these meetings?
After that, I'll be waiting on Tom Six's suicide and/or car crash. But when I came back with fresh eyes, a clear message began to form out of the first Human Centipede. Hearing the delusion in the main character and taking a second look at the Doctor's plans, it seems Tom was taking a jab at the biggest punching bag of modern politics, the leftist. We open on this liberal doctor literally hunting Republicans for sport. Obviously, he's using a pansy tranq rifle. Then we're introduced to our strong female leads. They're smart and independent, let alone the fact that they can't change a tire.
Do you know how to change a tire?
No, I do not know how to change a tire.
And blow off the only guy who can help them, calling him a weirdo and a creep.
Why is he still staring at us?
Just don't look at him, okay?
I'm not looking at him.
Not only that, they wander into the grasp of the doctor and blindly trust him because he's one of the good ones.
At least he's calling the car company for us.
Simp alive! Simp alive! Simp alive!
This leads them to being drugged because the left loves their drugs, to which they are kidnapped and taken by the doctor. They wake up in what looks like a Cuban hospital.
Medicare for all!
This is where the doctor explains his whole plan for the surgery, which gives me the chance to explain the genius of this movie. The Human Centipede is literally socialism. Here we have the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. And this crazy doctor thinks he can just sew them together, redistribute the wealth, and we'll just live butterflies and rainbows. We won't. And over the course of this film, Tom Six perfectly shows us why that is. At this point, I'm gonna throw in a content warning, because this movie is gruesome, graphic, and gross. And it's all perfect, as it shows the brutal reality the doctor is trying to shove down our throats. Some people shit in people's mouths, and some people eat shit. That's just the world. Back to the movie. It's important to note, dissenting opinions cannot be allowed.
You don't match.
So that Republican from earlier, he's got to go. In his place, we bring in an Asian, just to be sure we're inclusive. And the woman who doesn't want to be part of this little experiment, now she's doomed to be the middle.
You are the middle piece.
Just kill me now.
Really shows how much the left cares about women and minorities. It just perfectly reveals the attention to detail in this movie. Scene by scene, Tom Six exposes the hypocrisy of the left. Even though the doctor has already done this experiment, killing his dogs, just like socialists and communists who have burnt their countries to the ground, the doctor has to try again. I present to you the Human Centipede. This is socialism in action, utopian and scientific. The cops eventually come, doing their job, and investigating the abandoned car. They get to the house, and despite just asking questions, the doctor is constantly disrespecting them. Calling on his 1312 all cops are bastards instincts, he tries to drug the cops. When that only manages to work on one of them, he grabs a syringe from his lap, ready to inject the other cop. Once again, this fails. The doctor works some shitty diabetes excuse which doesn't fool anyone, and the cops run off for a warrant. At this point, the stitches at the end piece of the centipede have become infected. Wonder what this has to say about the condition of the lower class under communism. As if existence as a human centipede wasn't bad enough, they realize that this is officially life or death. While the doctor is protesting against the cops upstairs, the front guy gets a scalpel off the table and uses what they have left to make a break for it. When the doctor comes back, the unbridled rage of the downtrodden human centipede unleashes on him, stabbing him and biting out his throat. Talk about class solidarity. This starts the race for the front door. The doctor, down but not out, chases them, hardly gaining on them. The blood of his creation even seems to energize him, as if death and destruction was what he wanted all along. The cops show up back at the house, guns drawn. Sweeping the house, one of the cops finds the human centipede, with the front guy's throat slashed. Eventually, he makes his way to the pool, where the doctor is waiting for him with his partner's gun. After a shootout, everyone is left dead, and we get the magnum opus of this film. The first to go is the lower class, succumbing to the sickness from this operation, the transition of power that leaves them powerless. The next is the upper class, who chooses to take their own life rather than see such an immoral world. Endless wars kill everyone. The bureaucrats who put them there, and even the ones who try to save them. In the end, who is left to bear the brunt but the middle class, with the dead weight of the other classes strapped to them by a system which was meant to uplift them? We pan up, left with the question, could it all have been avoided?